It's the month of October, so you know what that means.
Try the all-new Halloween Whopper, dripping with A1 sauce, right now for a limited time, only at Burger King.
Yes, it's time for spooky, wooky, scary Bear McCreary to fill all your horror-wanting souls to scare the bejesus out of. We're talking candy corn, The Walking Dead, and sexy Donald Trump costumes. But when it comes to video games, there's only one series that remains dominant above all others in its genre. And I'm talking about Resident Evil. A game about surviving hordes of zombies, or in Resident Evil 4's case, Spaniards. But honestly, what's the difference? Look, Resident Evil, or Biohazard in Japan, left its mark in the gaming industry with revolutionizing what could possibly put the fear in video games other than that damn eel from Super Mario 64. You know what I'm talking about! What's typically used to sell games and commercials is humor or badass action, as we've seen in the past. But Resident Evil wouldn't warrant either of those notions, right? It's about scaring you, so the commercials needed to at least portray that, you know, what it's all about, within a short amount of time. So did it manage to explain itself? Let's go back to the ads. Starting off the series with Resident Evil 1, it had to hit hard with the fear factor. So I don't think I have to say it, but this isn't what you would call a fitting song. It's about as tonally wrong as a Kids Bop cover of Disturbia. Look it up after this video.
The evil demons of destruction.
To be fair, it does show off the gameplay and exciting highlights, but man, does the song throw you off.
Only you can stop them. Biohazard.
Luckily for our sakes, this secondary commercial has music that fits way more.
アメリカ中西部の町ラクーンシティ作戦行動中の特殊な警察部隊
Now this is what I expected to hear, a slow yet moderately paced song with chilling instruments, befitting a game as claustrophobic as this.
仲間と助け合い血に飢えた怪物たちが徘徊する館に隠された数々の謎を解いていくそして脱出経路を見つけ出し生き延びることが
Showing zombies and other giant monsters around every corner, you can't argue that this isn't the superior commercial, unless you prefer playing Resident Evil to the Lizzie McGuire soundtrack. However, the commercials really got it right with the sequel, Resident Evil 2. This one looks like it's right out of Night of the Living Dead. This game will make you want to run to your car that runs on PlayStation buttons. And remember, it's only a game. This one is pure gameplay, but works with some cool editing involving all the guns you'll be firing throughout the game. It creates a large sense of action and urgency along with the threat of mass zombies. Plus, the crows chirping in the background is just another layer on all of this. Can I survive a giant alligator? Probably not. And you'll never guess who made this one. That's right, George Romero, the same guy who made Night of the Living Dead and just about all the great zombie movies. I don't really know how to describe this one other than a montage of, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I'm sure it's scary. They got Romero for this? I could have made something like that for free!
Biohazard 2.
But I bet you won't guess who made this one either. Yep, it's George Romero back again for more zombie-slaying action. I know what you're thinking, and yes, you can actually see what is going on here. Now this looks like a cool little movie. This is what I wanted. Shows location, threats, characters, all with high quality zombie effects and fitting music, along with decent cinematography, unlike the previous ad. But if it's that classic PlayStation style commercial you're looking for, you might have to look elsewhere. And where else than the Gamecom? Yeah, this obscure portable system just happened to have Resident Evil 2, albeit a puke green port. But what we're looking at is the commercial. It's loud, gross, and obnoxious, and reeks of what was typically seen in the late 90s ads.
You know what it's like to get it right between the eyes? Ah! To see the juice squirt out of your family like the 4th of July?
From a filmmaking standpoint, it's made fine, with us being able to see that annoying zombie in a police station that's scared of a game. Yeah, it's weird, but it's nice to know where all the Gamecom's budget went to.
Ever hear a scream so loud it scrambled your intestines? And the burning light right before the fall!
After that game, Resident Evil 3 went back to basics, adding more of the third game's spice. Here's some exciting commercials that heats the blood.
The most horrifying. It's in your blood.
Compared to the first game, these definitely look more engaging, fusing way more action into it. There's more focus on the game's villain, Nemesis, which gives these commercials a different edge than just zombie invasion. Hell, this one only uses a brief clip of him, and that is all there is to it. It's ballsy for sure, like making a Kid Spot version of Disturbia. Don't forget to look that up after this video. The last couple of commercials we're looking at today is from Resident Evil 4, arguably the most popular entry out of the entire franchise. Forget everything you know, this game puts more action than ever into it, and is clearly shown.
Oh my god! What's going on?
Don't worry, Ashley. I'm coming for you.
This is something you would have not expected given the first game. The second commercial for it, however, takes it down a notch into a more Metro Prime meets soap opera vibe.
Who would have thought that my first job would have been a rescue mission?
I mean, look at Leon's hair sway. Absolute beauty, hashtag Leon's locks. I believe this represents the game more, combining horror and action, but not to the extent Resident Evil 5 does. It gives more plot than any of the early game's adds, but still includes plenty of horror elements the series is known for. Looking through the early days of gaming's most well-known lineup of horror games, it's interesting to see how the commercials expressed itself. At first, it went for a slow-paced showcase of the game with some unfitting music at times, but then picked up at Resident Evil 2 using more movie elements that made the subgenre in media popular to begin with. With cool editing, effects, and filmmaking from the king of zombies himself, George Romero, commercials for this series started to understand that perhaps nothing but horror won't work. This is also apparent in the games themselves. Just look at Resident Evil 3, where the game, along with the commercials, while still keeping the horror side, added more action because, well, more people would play it. The fourth game jumped more in that bandwagon of keeping the two genres, with some commercials highlighting one over the other. And by the time the fifth game rolled around, the series turned into more action, proving that what I said earlier about how action tends to sell to be true, which shows in the commercials as well in a steady climb to it. But hey, I find all the games fun, which is the most important part I like to think. Yes, even 5. Do these commercials do anything for you? Excite you? Scare you? Make you want to buy the game? On top of that, how do you prefer your Resident Evil experience? Leave a comment below, and if you have any recommendations for a future Back to the Ads episode, tweet me at VirtualSleaze. That's it for me. Have a nice day.